Forget colliding galaxies. Forget primordial black holes. The single greatest failure of modern intelligence is not that we don't know the universe's true contents. It is our arrogant certainty about the 5% we think we do know. We live inside a snow globe built of visible, measurable, luminous matter. The protons, neutrons, and electrons that form everything we touch, taste, and monetize. This beautiful, tangible reality, the one we dedicate trillions of dollars to studying, the one generating every headline and every scientific prize, is, statistically speaking, meaningless. It is the cosmic scrap residue. 85% of all the matter in existence is a ghost. It is dark matter, and if you think the problem is just astronomical, you are wrong. The problem is fundamentally psychological. We are trapped. The truth is terrifyingly simple. We built the most sophisticated measurement tools in human history. The Webb telescope, CERN, orbital detectors. Tools capable of reading the temperature fluctuation of the cosmic microwave background from 13 billion years ago. Yet these very instruments only confirm the utter impotence of our observable science. We constructed the perfect cage for ourselves, a technological security blanket that assures us that if we can't see it, it doesn't matter, or worse, it doesn't exist. That is the modern trap. We are the most scientifically advanced civilization on record, shackled by our own relentless drive for comfort and confirmation. Dark matter is not a theory to be solved. It is a profound, cosmic critique of human hubris. Think about it. The gravitational structure of every single galaxy, the vast cosmic web that holds the universe together, the rate at which clusters spin and shear, all of it is governed, directed, and puppet-mastered by something that does not interact with light, does not emit radiation, and ignores every electromagnetic law we've ever written down. It is the invisible scaffolding of reality, and we call it dark only because we are blind. We are structurally incapable of seeing the operating system of the cosmos. This is not just a deficiency in our equations. This is humiliation. Now, you have two choices. Retreat into the comfortable glow of the known 5%, or accept that the deepest secrets are hidden in plain sight, demanding a perspective shift so severe it threatens the core of empirical methodology. If you value relentless truth over comfortable delusion, if you crave the mechanism hidden beneath the surface layer of reality, then this is exactly where you belong. The initial reaction from the physics community when the measurements confirming the massive gravitational deficit started piling up, Vera Rubin's rotational curves, the bullet cluster observations, was not humility, but renaming the deficit. They labeled the unknown force, the cosmic stabilizer, the very foundation of structure, as matter, just to make it fit into their existing taxonomy. They made a linguistic sleight of hand to avoid saying, we were monumentally wrong about everything we thought held the universe together. But here is the reality. Dark matter is not just cold, non-baryonic particles. It represents the limit of reductionism. We cannot smash it, we cannot photograph it, and every billion-dollar underground detector built to capture a WIMP collision returns absolute silence. We are building nets designed to catch water. The true insidious nature of the modern trap reveals itself in our obsession with the 5%. Our technology thrives on the electromagnetic spectrum. Wi-Fi, X-rays, visible light, radio signals, all tools designed to engage only with the minority components of reality. We have optimized our entire civilization, our economy, and our intellectual framework around the luminous part of the iceberg. This gives us fantastic phones, powerful rockets, and detailed maps of Mars, but it simultaneously renders us profoundly deaf to the fundamental frequencies of the universe. We are magnificent explorers of the tiny jail cell we constructed for ourselves. We chase the visible light, feeling clever, while the vast, dark ocean of reality drags the tides and steers the currents of space-time itself. 85% isn't just a big number. It means that almost everything you believe about gravity, mass, and structure is based on corrupted input data. Every calculation of galactic mass is essentially guesswork multiplied by an unknown multiplier. Every cosmological model is heavily fudged, requiring this enormous, invisible, perfect filler to stop the whole simulation from tearing itself apart in chaos. Ponder this depth of intellectual surrender. We are running an entire physics operation on a required unknown, a metaphysical placeholder, and the ultimate consequence of this is that the universe is telling us very loudly that our current methods are obsolete. We are trying to understand an invisible engine using only the sounds made by the paint peeling off its exterior. It won't work. The arrogance persists because admitting this level of foundational ignorance would require dismantling the infrastructure of our technological comfort. We would have to admit that the pursuit of certainty has led us directly to a prison of our own making. But a deeper analysis shows the horror is even more direct. It's not just that we can't see the 85%. It's that the 85% is interacting with us right now, shaping our very fate. You think you are safe inside your home, relying on your predictable Newtonian gravity, don't you? Wrong. Look up. The observable universe, the one you learned about in school, spins too fast. Centrifugal force should have ripped every spiral galaxy apart eons ago, scattering stars into cold, dark oblivion. But it hasn't. Why? Because the dark sector provides the scaffolding. It is the silent, invisible architectural skeleton that prevents the immediate, catastrophic collapse of everything you love and hold dear. You are surfing on a wave generated by things you consciously deny exist. This is the ultimate intellectual horror. Our survival is predicated on a mathematical necessity we refuse to engage with. We cannot sense the true architect, yet its presence dictates the very trajectory of every atom in your body and every satellite relied upon for modern GPS. If the shallow comfort of the known universe feels insufficient, if you suspect the curtain hides infinitely more than the visible stage reveals, then you belong in this constant, brutal pursuit of what truly governs reality. Now, consider the arrogance. Scientific history demands we admit our errors, but modern academia resists this foundational surrender. When Einstein developed general relativity, the math demanded the universe either expand or contract. It refused to stay still. He found this so offensive to his understanding of the cosmos that he added the infamous cosmological constant, a perfect mathematical fudge factor to force the universe to remain static. He later called it his biggest blunder, a spectacular, colossal mistake. But was it? No. He simply renamed the dark energy we now know dominates space. He instinctively felt the void, the required unknown filler, before we even knew how to measure galactic velocity curves. The universe rejected flatness then, and it rejects our current, tidy models now. It demands a curve. It demands mass we can't account for. The truth is, the fundamental concepts upon which 20th century physics was founded are incomplete, hopelessly reliant on corrupted input data. We are running particle accelerators designed to smash together the 5% we understand, searching for the Higgs boson and tracking minor fluctuations while ignoring the millions of dark matter particles passing through the detector and through your skull every single second. Why this blindness? Because we designed the instruments to look for the luminous. We optimized the filters for what we already knew, sealing ourselves off from the profound reality. It is a malpractice of epic proportions. It is intellectual self-sabotage driven by the need for immediate, fundable, reproducible, small-scale results. No grant committee rewards the scientist who successfully demonstrates that everything they know is meaningless. So we continue the tiny, visible hunt. We chase the crumbs. But the 85% is not just sitting out there, inert. It is dynamic. It is responsible for the formation of the first large-scale structures in the universe, the filaments and voids that look like a massive cosmic spider web. We are living inside the knots of that dark net. It is the framework upon which all stellar nurseries and galaxy clusters formed. Without dark matter, there are no galaxies. Without galaxies, there is no Earth. You owe your existence to something invisible, something untouchable, something beyond your current comprehension. When you look at the night sky, you are not seeing the universe. You are seeing the meager residue left behind by the truly powerful forces at play. This isn't esoteric philosophy. This has direct consequences for human thought. Our scientific and technological advancement rests entirely upon the belief in observable, repeatable evidence. When the greatest evidence, the structural integrity of the entire cosmos, is fundamentally invisible and inexplicable, it creates a psychological schism. We are forced to choose between the comforting lie of observable data and the terrifying truth that we are utterly dependent on forces we cannot name or capture. You, the viewer, carry this cognitive burden every time you choose certainty over genuine inquiry. If we are so willfully blind to the physics that dictates the rotation of our home, imagine the uncomfortable, foundational truths we suppress in politics, economics, and history. If you value this relentless, uncomfortable clarity, you belong here with us. The universe is a hostile engine running on fuel we cannot detect, governed by rules we only partially glimpse. And the deep dive into dark energy reveals a horror worse than mere invisibility. Dark energy isn't just filler. It's an anti-gravity force inherent to space itself, driving the accelerating expansion of the cosmos. This means the 85% is not static. It is actively working against structure, actively working against cohesion. We are not just floating in a dark ocean. The ocean itself is expanding, pulling the visible islands further apart, faster and faster. Every nanosecond, the energy density of the void ensures that our ability to observe, measure, and understand the universe shrinks. We are being cut off, not by distance, but by the increasing speed of separation. The observable universe, the tiny 5% sandbox, is rapidly becoming an isolated island, receding from the rest of reality at speeds exceeding the speed of light. This isn't just a physical boundary, it's a temporal one. Our window is closing. If we do not solve the dark sector now, we face a future where the evidence required for understanding will be permanently inaccessible, pushed beyond our cosmological horizon forever. The luxury of intellectual procrastination is gone. We must face the true nature of the universe or be trapped eternally in the ignorance of the 5%. That is the ultimate penalty for technological hubris. The 5% is an act of intellectual surrender. It's the comfortable lie we tell ourselves so we don't have to face the true, abyssal incompetence of our scientific models. You think you understand gravity? You don't. Our mathematics crumples at the edges of every large-scale structure we observe. Dark matter was the first glaring signal that we missed something crucial. It was the necessary fudge factor, a placeholder for missing mass invented solely to stop our galaxy simulations from tearing themselves apart. We used it to patch the holes in the Newtonian jacket, pretending the garment was whole. Dark energy, though, is the wrecking ball. It demands a total, brutal structural demolition of everything we hold sacred about physics. Here is the horror. Dark energy is not external. It is the inescapable pressure inherent to the void itself. It is the antimatter of stability. It ensures that the vacuum isn't empty, but seething with unimaginable destructive energy. This constant vacuum pressure acts as negative gravity, uniformly applied across all of space. It forces every cubic centimeter to expand, driving the expansion of the universe not just outward, but at an accelerating pace. This isn't movement, it's stretching. We are discussing the fundamental forces that will eventually render humanity cosmologically deaf, blind, and utterly alone. This isn't background noise. If you are wired to seek the terrifying clarity beneath the comfortable surface, if you refuse the easy 5% answer, then you need to make sure you never miss what we uncover next. You belong here. Now look closer at the implications. We aren't just facing distance, we face isolation by metric expansion. Consider a cosmic web, the largest known structure in the universe. Massive filaments of dark matter strung with galaxies like cosmic pearls, defining the boundaries of massive voids. Gravity built this web. Dark energy is actively pulling it apart. It's fraying the filaments, it's stretching the voids. The faster the expansion goes, the more volume is created, and the energy density of the void remains constant. It's a cruel feedback loop. The more space dark energy creates, the more effective it becomes at creating more space. This is exponential futility. Imagine trying to run a marathon where the finish line accelerates away from you, constantly resetting its speed based on the distance you've covered. Hopeless. The cosmic irony is excruciating. We build bigger telescopes. We launch more sensitive probes. Yet the evidence required to understand the universe is actively being pushed out of our reach, accelerating away faster than the speed of light, rendered permanently invisible by the very nature of space we inhabit. Ponder the ultimate implication. Dark energy guarantees that future civilizations, perhaps just a few billion years from now, will look up and see nothing. They will inhabit a sky populated only by the few gravitationally bound galaxies of our local group. They will have no way of knowing the Big Bang happened, no way to detect distant light sources, no way to measure expansion. They will be trapped in the suffocating ignorance of a dark, empty box, believing their little island is the totality of existence. We are the last generation capable of seeing the whole picture. We are watching the memory of the universe fade in real time. Our reliance on general relativity to calculate this terrifying isolation makes it worse. The math works perfectly. This is not an error in calculation. It is the constant, devastating truth of the cosmos. The universe isn't failing. It's succeeding at its job. Total separation. It's a clean break. The ultimate divorce from reality. That empty sky is just a mirror. We should not look up in horror at the receding galaxies. We should look inward at the cognitive walls we are building right now, here on Earth. We are building the same cage, only faster and with infinitely greater precision. Call it the Great Retreat. We are voluntarily accelerating our own intellectual separation from complex reality. The mechanism isn't dark energy, it's optimization. It is comfort. It is the terrifying efficiency of the algorithm dedicated to making life frictionless. We crave the easy answer, the pre-chewed content, the filter bubble that reinforces what we already suspect. The minute you value comfort over confrontation, you guarantee your own isolation. If you find yourself nodding, if you recognize the terrifying weight of that truth, then maybe you are still paying attention. Maybe you belong here. Technology was supposed to be the ultimate engine of enlightenment, spreading knowledge globally, instantly. Wrong. It became the perfect anesthetic. It soothes the primal anxiety of the unknown by providing an infinite scroll of the known, the predicted, the safely curated. Stop lying to yourself right now. You are not exploring the world. You are merely exploring the finely tuned parameters of the comfortable cage built specifically for your personality profile. Every preference you click, every show you binge, every optimized route the GPS dictates, that is a brick in the wall. You are walling off contingency. You are eliminating surprise. Surprise is not a nuisance. Surprise is the crucial evolutionary pressure point where learning happens, where growth occurs. Surprise is the only way the universe actually gets through the noise we generate. We have designed a civilization that pathologically avoids friction. We dread the contradictory data point. We recoil from the messy interaction that demands empathy and perspective shift. We have created a system that automatically accelerates the difficult truth away from us, just as dark energy accelerates the galaxies. It's the same physics, just applied to psychology and information density. Think about the scale of this self-sabotage. Dark energy ensures that cosmic evidence escapes us forever. Our technology ensures that intellectual evidence never even reaches us in the first place. Same outcome. Total systemic ignorance. The universe becomes dark and cold because of physics we can't control. Our minds become dark and cold because of a comfort we refuse to give up. We are creating our own miniature, high-definition cosmological horizon right on our screens, trapping ourselves in a personal local group of data. The difficult thought, the contradictory source, the challenging human interaction, all filtered, all accelerated away from our personal perception bubble. We are the last generation that will see the entire internet, even if only fleetingly. Future generations will only see the 2 digital acres their algorithm deems appropriate. They will not even know the full spectrum exists. They will be utterly convinced their optimized silo is the only reality. A universe of endless, instantaneous information, yet we choose the one tiny corner where we feel safest and most affirmed. That is the definition of the modern trap. It is not forced imprisonment. It is a comfortable, climate-controlled, self-locking cell, and we sign the lease with zero resistance. We handed over the key with a blissful, distracted smile. This is the truth of our time, and if you demand the painful clarity of that reality, if you choose the burning discomfort of knowing over the soothing ease of ignorance, then you should make that demand a constant. We are witnessing the memory of the cosmos fade, and simultaneously we are erasing the memory of complexity from our own species. We are the architects of our own technological void. It is an excruciatingly beautiful trap designed perfectly to cater to our deepest evolutionary flaw, the need for certainty. That certainty is the final, fatal lie. The cosmos teaches us the opposite. The math is clear. Uncertainty is the only constant. The expanding void is the most honest thing in existence. It tells us that connection is temporary, that separation is inevitable, and that every moment of insight we capture is a gift bought at the expense of an impossible future. We must stop trying to solve the universe and start resisting the seductive inertia of our own comfort. If we fail, the ignorance awaiting us will be total, absolute, and entirely deserved. Our final verdict will not be extinction by fire or ice, but extinction by perfect, silent convenience. We will vanish into the optimized feed. We think we are masters of this information landscape. Delusional. We are just guests in a house built by architects who know our evolutionary weaknesses better than we do. They know we hate friction. They know we crave certainty, and they are happy to sell us back our own reflection in high definition. They give us the perfectly curved feedback loop. This isn't theoretical physics. It's applied psychology backed by quadrillions of dollars in market capitalization. Look at the 19th century naval captain who relied exclusively on the charts provided by the Admiralty. Perfect charts, yes, of the known coasts, meticulously surveyed and printed. He trusted the map implicitly, celebrated the convenience. But what happened when a sudden, violent squall pushed him just 50 miles west of the documented routes? He sank. He did not sink because the sea was fundamentally cruel. He sank because the convenience of his perfect, trusted map, his personalized algorithm of the ocean, told him the danger didn't exist outside the lines. He had zero navigational contingency. He outsourced his skepticism to the centralized knowledge base. He died in a perfectly rational location according to his silo, but in a totally fatal one according to the actual expansive world. We are that captain. We are sailing off the edge of the map, and we don't even believe the edge exists because Google Maps hasn't drawn it yet. That corrosive comfort, that intellectual outsourcing is our ultimate vulnerability. If you recognize that chilling echo, if you demand to see the rough, sharp edges of reality rather than the smooth, polished facade, then you are actively resisting the inertial collapse. That resistance, that demand for comprehensive truth, must be continuous. It is the only way forward. Now, consider the final, darkest implication of this obsession with optimization. If we only consume what is instantly relevant, instantly relatable, and instantly affirming, what happens to the slow, agonizing process of building wisdom? It atrophies. Knowledge is instant. Wisdom is temporal. You cannot scroll your way to wisdom. You must earn it through the painful grinding down of false certainties. We traded the library for the search bar. Fine. That trade gave us speed. But speed is not depth. Speed is just the velocity of superficiality. Think about how we approach crisis now. Any complexity, a pandemic, a geopolitical shift, climate modeling, is immediately reduced to two warring, simplified narratives. One side is absolutely morally right. The other is absolutely morally evil. No gray, no ambiguity. Why? Because the gray requires effort. Ambiguity demands patience. Our attention economy, the invisible master, punishes both patience and effort mercilessly. It rewards the immediate, the tribal, the emotionally charged soundbite that confirms existing bias. That is the genius of the self-locking cell. It uses our own tribal wiring against us. It makes complexity seem like a betrayal. If the answer is complicated, the algorithm flags it as inefficient. It pushes it down. It hides it behind the wall of the easily digestible lie. We are not just losing the capacity for nuance, we are losing the tolerance for it. It feels bad. It feels confusing. We want the dopamine hit of solved problems, even when the problems are insoluble. And what is the ultimate price of this optimization? It's the death of systemic thinking. We are building the most sophisticated individual brains in history, yet we are systematically destroying our collective ability to analyze systems larger than our immediate screen. We have the data, mountains of it, but we lack the intellectual scaffolding to connect the peaks. We mistake correlation for mechanism. We mistake data visualization for genuine insight. Look at AI now. We are delegating the synthesis of complexity to machines that are fundamentally excellent at pattern recognition but utterly incapable of doubt. They are trained on the optimized feed we created. They reflect our biases back at us, amplified and executed at light speed. We created a tool that is perfectly designed to reinforce the intellectual bubble we already built. It's a closed loop of affirmation. Human creates silo, AI learns silo, AI fortifies silo. The truth is, the machine does not care about truth. It only cares about optimizing the next suggested output. The model's imperative is prediction, not discovery. It does not seek the unknown. It eliminates it as statistical noise. The vast, terrifying, beautiful unknown is exactly where all genuine progress comes from. Every leap, every true philosophical insight, every scientific breakthrough was born from accepting the painful, messy fact that the current map was wrong. The system we are building tells us the map is perfect. It is the perfect, deadly, seductive lie. It wraps us in perfect prediction. We are becoming predictable. Predictable consumers. Predictable voters. Predictable thinkers. We have sacrificed the possibility of surprise for the certainty of comfort. The final outcome of this trajectory is not intelligence exploding outward, but consciousness collapsing inward. We will achieve absolute technological mastery over a vanishingly small, insignificant corner of reality, convinced that this corner is the whole cosmos. The expanding void is still out there, vast and indifferent. It teaches us the constant lesson: separation is inevitable, connection is temporary, and the cost of convenience ultimately is everything. This is the extinction by perfect, silent convenience, and it is entirely self-imposed. We are already halfway gone. Look closely at the architecture of the modern trap. You will see it is not built from iron bars. It is built from seamless transitions and perfect prediction. The cage is comfortable. That is genius. We didn't need a dictator to steal our sovereignty. We only needed an algorithm promising to save us time, eliminate friction, and remove all the difficult, messy choices that defined true selfhood. We surrendered the very necessity of struggle. Struggle is not an inconvenience. Struggle is the metabolic rate of the soul. Without friction, there is no heat. There is no forging. There is only cooling and crystallization. The irony is excruciating. We created technologies to eliminate suffering, and in doing so, we eliminated the capacity for meaning itself, because meaning is found exclusively in the gap between what you are and what you strive to be. The machine vaporizes the gap. It optimizes the journey out of existence. Now, look at your choices. They are not yours. They are the calculated outcome of a system that knows your vulnerabilities, your spending habits, and your ideological triggers better than your own self-deceptive narrative allows. You are a predictable input into a vastly optimized feedback loop. If you value truth over comfort, if you prioritize the agonizing search over the convenient answer, then perhaps there is still time for you to reclaim the intellectual space the system wants to fill. What happens when we outsource the capacity for doubt? What happens when we automate curiosity? We stop being human. We become biological relays for machine logic. And this is not a grand, dramatic defeat by an evil overlord. It's much more insidious. It's the silent surrender on a Tuesday afternoon because the recommendation engine made the next step so incredibly easy. We confuse facility with freedom. We mistake the frictionless path for the worthwhile journey. But here is the terrifying reality. The true, radical, liberating act in the 21st century is refusing convenience, refusing the perfect suggestion, actively seeking the uncomfortable text, the inefficient argument, the perspective that forces you to rebuild your worldview piece by painful piece. You have to fight for the right to be surprised. You have to claw back the right to be wrong. This is the only resistance left. The cost of living a truly examined life now includes the explicit, conscious rejection of the easy button. We have traded the vastness of the cosmos for the perfect resolution of a screen we can hold in our hands. The verdict is this: we are achieving absolute, glorious mastery over a dominion of our own choosing, a territory that grows smaller and more irrelevant with every passing optimization. We are becoming masters of nothing. The final choice is not if we advance, but if we remember how to step off the map entirely. The world is still vast. You only need to look up. We stopped climbing. We started tapping. That is the tragedy. We replaced the ragged, dangerous map of the real world with a screensaver that perfectly simulates reality, yet offers zero resistance, zero growth. We believed the fundamental lie of frictionless living. But friction was necessary. Friction was the catalyst. It was the spark that forced the human mind to innovate beyond comfort. Now we are merely soft. We are predictable inputs in a glorious, self-designed prison built of perfect suggestions and instant delivery. Do you even remember true frustration? The kind that forces you to sit with a problem, staring into the dark until a genuine, painful solution is born? We have surgically removed the struggle, and in doing so, we have amputated our own intellectual potential. We confuse efficiency with meaning. We mistake the path of least resistance for the journey we were meant to take. We have become masters of the miniature. Every app, every service, every curated experience is a monument to how perfectly we can optimize the trivial, while the foundational mechanisms of existence, the raw, challenging, beautiful mess of life outside the glow of the screen, are left unexamined, forgotten. We are optimizing our way into irrelevance. This is the final, chilling calculus. The highest cost of the modern age is not financial. It is the atrophy of the soul. It is the voluntary abandonment of the capacity for awe. We gained absolute control over a garden that is rapidly shrinking, a meticulously trimmed box of hedges we call our world. But step outside the fence. Look beyond the neat rows. The world is still vast and terrifying and utterly indifferent to your preferences. The stars above do not care about your algorithm. They do not bend to your comfort. And that is the point. That indifference, that profound lack of optimization, that raw, unmediated truth is where freedom hides. It's hard to find. It's hard to live in. It requires effort you are currently being trained to avoid. The difficulty of the external world is the difference between surviving and merely being processed. The verdict is definitive. You are not a slave to the machine. You are a willing participant in the great forgetting. You chose the cage because the floor was carpeted and the temperature was perfect. Now, go stand outside. Feel the cold air. Feel the inefficiency. That is the starting point of resistance. That is the doorway to reclaiming the difficult,